First and foremost, I'd like to give infinite praises, honor, and glory unto my power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'arahakadash. This is Brother Kazak coming back at you with another one, and I think I'm going to title it, Fools Say There's No God. I'd like to give a sincere shalom to all the listeners tuning in, the hopeful elect, and I'd like to give double honors where it's due, and I don't say this enough, and I'm going to try saying it more often. I'd like to give double honors where it's due unto the elder apostles on down the umbrella over at Great Millstone who rule well and have taught me this truth. So let's get into it. Just the other day, a couple days ago, my brother, I don't have to mention his name, but we have the same mom, different dads, and he might be an Edomite. I don't know. He could be a Jake as well. So I don't know. But regardless, I want to show the world, and especially my fellow Hebrew Israelites out there, judgment. And, like I go and I spend time with my brother once in a while, and he's definitely of the world. He claims that there is no God, and I prayed that the Lord would show him that he is true, that he is real, he does exist, and his name is Yahweh. And he is greatly to be feared. He doesn't play games, and he doesn't take kindly to people that try to put their authority over him. And I was talking to him about certain things about Chip Marcus, we got to watch what we say. But anyway, he's like, oh, that's not real. And if that comes, I won't be here by the time that happens. And he went out and he got the 1-2 stick 'em. He got hit with that little small piece of metal in his arm, and the P Dizzle. And I don't know. Anyway, that pissed me off, so it started all these other conversations. And we're going to get into some scriptures. I just want to give the rundown of what's going on here. And anyway, I was upset, like, dang, dude, why the fuck did you take that? And he's like, well, I'm not the only one, Ma and our stepdad did as well. And I'm like, oh, great. And they were the last ones I thought would get it, because my mom, she semi-knows the truth. She's still in that Babylon Jesus Christos juice drinker, but she's kind of coming around because of the things that I speak to her about. And when she hears the word coming out, she hearkens to it. She buckles down, gets quiet, and she listens. And but my brother is the opposite. He doesn't believe in God, and now I'm sure he does. He went and got himself into a hot, and I say hot, bit of trouble with the Lord 2 nights ago, I believe. I want to say it was Saturday night, and it's Monday now. But anyway, he is like I'm harping on him about, I'm crying aloud and sparing not, telling him that he shouldn't be doing things he's doing, because he's like, oh yeah, I just stocked up, and this was several months ago. He's like, or a few months ago, I think it was around August. He's like, it's just stocked up a half of a cow and half of a pig. And I'm like, you ain't supposed to eat that shit, right? And he's like, what? And I was like, the swine, we're not supposed to eat that, let alone touch it. So you're definitely not supposed to put it in your mouth. And he's like, oh, well, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. And then that's when the 1-2 stick 'em up, the P Dizzle got brought up. And then that opened a whole can of worms through the spirit, and he got all pissed off because I'm bringing out, the word to back the case. And it's building a case against him. And when someone's got spirits on them that are evil, like, they don't like when the word comes out. And then it provoked his spirits into saying that there is no Lord. There's no Lord over me. And I'm like, well, you're going to be fucking destroyed. And we got into a big argument, whatever. And he's like, well, whatever. And I'm like, and he's the type that wants to live his best life. He isn't happy with being in Babylon because he feels he's in bondage, which he is. And he suffers under, like, a lot of the curses that a Hebrew Israelite would suffer. So that's why I truly believe he is a Hebrew Israelite. but I don't know. And anyway, let's get into his judgment. And I prayed to the Lord that the Lord would wake him up, and I asked the Lord to maim this man. This is my brother. Okay, this is a serious deal. And I asked the Lord to maim him, to give him a punishment that he would never forget, that he could look in the mirror and reflect upon his wickedness and have a clear mental and physical insight of why not to be wicked. And the Lord did just that. And I asked the Lord not to kill the man, but to put him in the hospital with pain and suffering so he could sit there and relish and reflect on his wrongdoing. And a lot of people, especially the world, be like, oh, that's wicked, yada, yada, yada. Well, that's the world. I give a fuck not about you, world. Shalak I am unto you. And you're going to get burnt. And we're going to go into that, too. And anyway, he was cooking. This is him. Let's see if we can pull that up. I blanked out his nipple because I just didn't want that to, get a flag on the video. This is him. And he was wearing clothes, apparently. And it was an Instapot. And I'm not trying to advertise brands or labels or anything like that, but it was like a pressure cooker, and I want to say it was an Instapot, and he was getting ready to make homemade chicken noodle soup. And I asked my mom, because he didn't come to me with this information. This came to me by my mom. And I believe he's trying to avoid me because he realizes he fucked up when he said those things about the Lord that he did to me. And he doesn't want to face the music and be like, oh, yeah, you're right. And then he knows he is not getting any pity from me. I will not shed a tear for any of the wicked. I've been maimed in the past when I was wicked, or damn right evil. And I've been maimed for it. And looking back in hindsight, after knowing the Lord, I see why I was maimed. And I've been maimed since I've been 16 years old, and I'm 38 now. So I've been dealing with a paralyzed hand that doesn't work, and other things. But this is the sight of an Instapot blowing up in his kitchen and maiming this man. He's never going to forget this, ever. Okay, let this be a reminder. And it burns. Oh, it burns. But with the type of heat that is about to hit the face of the earth, especially here in America, the United States of America, a.k.a. Mystery Babylon the Great, that's about to get hit with a whole bunch of nuclear missiles from all these different nations around the globe. That type of fire is going to make this look like very small and minuscule in comparison for the wicked. For the things that this man was doing. These people are going to suffer a great amount of pain, mind you. So he ended up going to the hospital, and allegedly he checked himself out early because he was withdrawn. He didn't have his alcohol, and that's just another demon. But that might be for another video, another topic. I don't know. I just wanted to bring this out. This is the face of a fool, or the maiming of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And this lesson is all through the Spirit. And it's just come up, and I've been getting plagued, getting ran through hell. I've been facing a lot of hell these past few days to a week. I've been dealing with a strong depression demon. And it almost, I was about to get off the internet completely and say, fuck it, and just be done with the internet. Not go back into the world, but just to stay off the internet because it's so fucking toxic. I'm tired of seeing all these pedophiles, all these faggots, all these trannies. I'm fucking sick of it. Sick of it. I'm sick of seeing all the confusion, all the godless people, the people that don't even fear the Lord. They're about to get it. And they're going to get it good. Shalak Rayem unto the world. So that's enough of me ranting. I want to go into scriptures now. Now, you've seen the damage on this man. Look at these blisters. Pus-filled blisters. It just scrapes off. Soft like butter. This is what's going to happen to most people before they get disintegrated from them nuclear ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay. Let's see here. All right, we're going to go into the book of Psalms, the 14th chapter, verse number 1. And this is what provoked all of this. And Salakia, my apologies for my device being so slow. It's old. And anyway, Psalms chapter 14, verse 1, and it reads, "To the chief musician, a psalm of David. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no power, there is no God. They," as in the fool, "are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good, no fool that does good." Okay? And this man said there was no God. And it was because he was being condemned for his wickedness. Because I was crying aloud and sparing not. I spared not his feelings. I don't give a fuck if you're blood family. I don't care if you're my best friend. In fact, if you're my family or my best friend, I care the most. So I'm going to bring it out. I'm going to tell you the error of your ways. Because I've been shown this by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, the power of the universe, the creator over all energy that's been created. They've done abominable works, the fools have, and there is none that doeth good. Okay, so we're going to go into the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 15, verse 13. It reads, "The Lord hateth," dang it, "the Lord hateth all abominations." Not one, not two, not some, not a couple, not a few, not several. He hateth all. That's all abominations does he hate. And they, meaning those that fear and love Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai with their mind, body, and spirit, they love it not. They that fear the Lord, the Most High, love abominations not. Now, didn't we just see back in the book of Psalms how the fool says there's no God and that they are abominable? We are to hate with righteous anger, indignation, the ones that, say there's no God because they're abominable and there's none that doeth good. Okay? And it doesn't matter if it's your family member or not. We are to obey the Most High rather than men. And we are to spare no one's feelings when they're going off. If we love that person, we let them know that they're going off and that they're going to be destroyed if they keep doing the shit they're doing and they repent not. And sin is the transgression of the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments. So, if they're doing wrong, we need to tell them that. Or else the blood's on our hands because we know that they're doing wrong. So this is serious stuff. This is something that we're not to just, wink at. The Lord might wink at our ignorance, but for a moment. But soon, he's not. And this shows it. He went and he maimed my brother. My brother's never going to forget that. I know I never forgot about my hand or being shot in the spine with a nail gun. Things like that, breaking bones. Oh yeah, I've been ran through the grinder. I've been ran through the fire. I know what getting burnt feels like. But I don't know what eating a nuclear missile's gonna feel like, and I hope that I don't have to. So I want to go into the book of Isaiah, and this is what I was talking about. Crying aloud, sparing not. Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, meaning be loud and don't care about anybody's feelings or what they feel or say. You still go and you let them know. And show my people their transgression. And I'm just saying that sin is the transgression of the Lord's laws. And the law is not done away with. It is forever. And the house of Jacob, their sins. And we don't know for sure if this person's, of this nation or that nation. We just let them all know to be on the safe side, especially when it's our brother, regardless if it's through our mom or not. Even though the seed line is through the father, through the sperm, and not the mother, but he is my brother, and I let him know. And I have another brother that passed away over, I don't know, probably 15 years ago. And he wronged me. He was breaking the law, and I believe he was an Edomite, because we all have different daddies. And him and I had like a perpetual hatred for one another, but we did love each other, but we could only spend around 5 minutes a time without pulling out knives on each other. Like, this is serious. Like, we would bloody each other, and we'd be at battle perpetually, just like Esau and Jacob. And he's dead now. I have a few babies' mothers, I'm only with one now, but I have children with 3 different women that I know about. And I know of one for sure that my passed away brother, he got with after I'd been with her. And the Lord didn't take kindly to that. And he did other things to me too growing up that the Lord obviously didn't take kind to. So he had my brother die of an overdose, and he choked on his own vomit in his sleep. And he wronged me. And this was right around the time that he had sexual relations with one of my children's mothers, my eldest daughter's mother. And the Lord killed him. And this is before I even knew that God existed. I was an atheist at the time, and I didn't know I was a Hebrew Israelite. And the Lord fucking smoked him. And I shed many tears for him, but after knowing what I know now, I shed no more tears. I know what judgment is. I understand it. But anyway, again, we'll read Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1 again. Isaiah 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgression, in the house of Jacob their sins. And I told my brother, the one that's still living that just got maimed, that's in that picture, that you're not to touch the swine's flesh, let alone eat it. And he didn't care. He didn't give a fuck. He smoked cigarettes, and I used to smoke cigarettes. I put cigarettes down. I smoked cigarettes for 29 years out of my 38-year existence. I picked up cigarettes when I was 8 years old. And since coming into this truth, I had put cigarettes down. Put down all smoking. I don't smoke anything. I take this walk very seriously, and I expect others to do the same. And if you don't, you will be destroyed. And I'm talking into the camera, and I'm looking right in my eyes as I say this. So first and foremost, I'm speaking to myself. So when I tell others to do it, I expect myself to do it as well. And I won't tell anybody to do what I'm not doing. If I'm doing these things, then I'm going to tell others they need to do the same. I don't do cigarettes. I don't do any of that shit. So I have the right, and I'm justified to tell people these things. So I did just that. I let them know that you're not supposed to go into that. So we want to go into Levitical law and show that we're not to touch swine or eat it. And we're just going to start from the top. Okay. Leviticus chapter 11, verse 1. And it reads, and the Lord, all caps, that's Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, coming in the name of his only begotten Son, because I reverence his only begotten Son. Without him, I am nothing. So I'm making that clear too. And the phone just chimed in on it. And I got the notification muted, but it came in. This is important. And if you don't believe in the Son, you're condemned already. And you're going to fucking fry if you don't get ran through the meat grinder or die of starvation. And you better beg, hope, pray, and plead that you don't die of starvation, because that's the worst. Saith the scriptures. It's better to die by the sword. So let's start again. Salakia for the interruption and the rambling. Leviticus chapter 11, verse 1, and it reads, And the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, spake unto Moshe and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Not some, not this one, not that one, all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat. Now, a cloven foot is a hoof, like certain animals have it, where there's a gap in between their couple toes. Okay, it's hard like this, a cloven foot. Okay, and chewing the cud means they eat the grass of the field, oats, grains, stuff like that, stuff that grows out of the ground, and they cheweth the cud, and they digest it, they swallow it, and it goes through different stomachs, multiple different things, or they regurgitate, meaning throw it up and chew it again, and it gets filtered, and they grind it into a fine pulp, so it's clean. Okay, this is important. It's the best I can explain it. Cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat. Okay, like a deer, for instance. It's called a roe, if I'm not mistaken, in the scriptures, R-O-E. But that's like a clean, cloven-footed animal. Okay, like a coney or a hare. Okay, is like a rabbit. That one, it cheweth the cud, but it have not a cloven hoof. So you can't eat that. That's unclean. And swine, which is pig or pork, that have a cloven hoof, but it cheweth not the cud. And it actually, it eats its own feces. It'll eat humans. It'll eat anything that it can get in its mouth, and it has no sweat glands, so it doesn't sweat out toxins, nothing like that. It's just like a huge disposal, like a waste disposal. It eats trash. It cleans the earth, so we're not to eat that. Nevertheless, this is verse 4, chapter 11, Leviticus chapter 11, verse 4. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud. Okay, this is like the pig, the swine, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean to you. And I'm talking to me, and I don't eat animals anymore. So, like, I mean, it still applies to me, but I'm talking to the meat eater. Yeah, and that goes in, like, how I was explaining it when we were on verse 3, like certain beasts or whatever that we're not to eat. And I'm emphasizing on the swine, because that's where my brother that got maimed, he likes to eat the swine, and he doesn't not eat the swine, he eateth of the swine. So verse number 5, and the coney, and that's the rabbit, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's the rabbit, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean unto you. You don't eat it. Oh, the coney, yeah, I want to say the coney is, it's a certain kind of rabbit, and so is the hare. A hare is like a wild rabbit, and maybe the coney, well, while we're here, screw it. Let's see if the coney is the rabbit. Let's just search it quick. And I'm trying not to make this long, but it's through the Spirit. It's going to go as long as it is. And if the Spirit guided you here to watch this, may Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barah HaKadosh guide you to the very end of this lesson from the very beginning, and watch every second of it and eat with me. Coney definition. Hopefully it doesn't pull up like a Coney Island. I live in Michigan, so Coney Islands are a big thing. A rabbit. So I was right. Oh, maybe.
Coney.
Oh, there we go.
Coney.
Yep, a rabbit. So a smaller grouper, so it could be a fish, but in this case, it's talking about the rabbit. And I think a coney is more of like a domesticated rabbit, like one you'd keep in a cage. The hare is the wild rabbit, and I know because we got them all around where my house is at. Like there's tons of rabbits that just run freely with the squirrels and all of that. So anyway, we're going to go back into Leviticus chapter 11, and I want to say we left off at verse 5. Let's see here. Shoot. We left off at Leviticus chapter 11, verse 5. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. We don't eat rabbits. Verse number 6, this is where we're getting into it. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. That's another rabbit. So verse 7, and this is where we emphasize. And the swine, the pig, pork, though he divideth the hoof, meaning he's cloven hoofed, cloven footed, or he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. So he doesn't chew the cud. He'll eat just garbage. He is unclean to you. You're not to eat it. Or, and this is number 8, Leviticus chapter 11, verse 8. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. We're not even supposed to touch this fucking thing. And people are out here eating it. We're not even to touch it. It is unclean. They are unclean to you. Okay? So not only is he touching it to prepare it, he's putting it in his mouth, and he doth eat. So, and our bodies don't digest it. Eating swine causes a lot of health issues. This is scientifically proven through, whatever, science. But who cares about that? A spiritual man will hear this word, he'll dissect it, discern it, digest it, and adhere to it. He will hearken, and he will give praises unto his power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, for showing him the error of his ways and showing him the right way to walk uprightly. The Wadi Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Bar HaKadosh, for showing us his ways. This is righteousness. There might be a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof is death. And I'm roughly paraphrasing that. Them aren't my words. Okay, this is out of the Lord's word. I was roughly paraphrasing. So we're done with that. And I want to go, this is the judgment that's going to happen to all these people eating swine's flesh. Well, maybe not all of them, but a good bit of them. And this is coming for the people the Lord wants to melt here on earth, especially here in Mystery Babylon the Great. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai's altar. The United States is a huge, giant altar. And the Lord's about to stoke a fire using all these world leaders, hiding out in their bunkers, shooting off nuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles, predominantly over here in Mystery Babylon the Great, the United States of America, to burn like all of Babylon. America is going to be turned into a crater, a fucking crater, uninhabitable to people. There's only going to be wild beasts that roam this place, mind you. And so let's get into what he's about to do. This is prophecy. This is future prophecy. It's yet to happen, but it's going to happen. All prophecy is going to come to pass. Lord Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy, and he cometh in the whole volume of the book. New and Old Testament Apocrypha, the whole thing. If you don't believe the Old Testament, you don't believe the New Testament. If you don't believe the New Testament, you don't believe the Old. If you're not a whole Testament, meaning all the book, Israelite, you are going to be met with one of these nuclear ICBMs. If you don't get rammed through the fucking meat grinder or die of starvation. And if you're any of these wicked people that live here that are of the other nations, you will be ran through the meat grinder. You will starve and you will be melted. Especially, and this goes for that fucking wicked ass Edomite that's coming on my page and talking shit, and he marked himself. And Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazah, I'll be doing a judgment video on you, you piece of shit. You know who I'm talking about. And I guarantee you're going to see this. And it's going to be a doozy. You come to the wrong fucking page. I marked you. You're going to be mine in the afterlife. In the reincarnation. Just like I said, I'm going to make you sit there and break rocks under the baking hot sun using a 3-ounce hammer. And the boulders are going to be the size of small hills. Shalak Rayam unto you, you fucking devil. And Shalak Rayam unto all you Edomites. And all you heathen nations. And all you fucking 2/3 Jake that don't want to get in fucking order. Shalak Rayam unto you. The Lord's going to destroy you motherfuckers. So, I'm sick and tired of this place. I'm getting so fucking angry. Man. And if I can pray to the Lord to harm my own blood kin, to maim them, and he hearkens unto that, man, you got something coming, you fucking heathens, you fucking devils. Just wait. The things the Lord has me speak, they come true. And his wrath, it is coming, and it is justified. He's justified in all of his doing. He is completely righteous. Fuck. Isaiah 66, verse 15 through 18. This is important. For behold, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind. It's like a tornado. More powerful than any tornado. To render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. He's not going to take no pity on any of you wicked fucking people. Fucking devils. Demons, you scoffers, you mockers, scorners, adulterers. Flames of fire. Rebuke with that. Oh, man, I'm so fucking pissed. Verse 16, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai plead with all flesh. And that plead means to judge. And judge he will. With all flesh. And the slain of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall be many. Not a little, not a pinch, many. Verse 17. They, meaning the fool, that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens, behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination, and we just read in Ecclesiasticus that the Lord hateth all abominations, and those that fear him love it not. And the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. It doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, a child, or a fucking small mouse. He's going to plead with all flesh, and the slain of him shall be many. Verse 18, for I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations, not some, all, and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory, and a glory it will be for all to behold. Everybody's going to see it. Which side of the tracks are you going to be on? Meat grinder, famine, melted, or getting taken up and ascended into the clouds, into the chariots, with the strange salvation of our Lord. Pick this day, choose this day who you're going to serve. As for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and his only begotten Son, Lord Yahushai. I'm fucking pissed. The more and more I do these videos, the more angry I get. And that's telling me something, because these aren't my words. These are the Lord's. It's telling me he's pissed. And that judgment, it's coming. It's already here. So many people have died just over the last couple days. And Thawadi Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Call Halayim La Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Barah Kadash. May Yahweh Shem Yahushai make all you wicked fucking devils. May he suffer you to die in the famine. Get ran through the meat grinder. Turned into a pulp. Get burnt up. Get chewed out. Spit out. Fucking devils. I'm so sick of you. Fuck. That's all I got. So, take it how you will. You don't hearken unto this word. All those things that were spoken about today that were sound kind of bad because they truly are. It's going to happen to you. So I want to give a sincere shalom to the sincere listeners tuning in, the hopeful elect, Yahweh Mahar, which is Godspeed, unto the Lord's holy elect, who are Israelites from the seed line of David. And a Shalach Rayim to the rest of you wicked fucking devils. This is Brother Kazak, and I'm out.